What is up, guys? Hope everybody had a great weekend. It is Sunday today. I'm going to be covering a lot of things for next week. It's going to be a jam-packed week full of a lot of data that's going to bring a lot of volatility to the market, specifically futures. I'm going to be covering NQ, that is what I personally trade, what I see on the higher time frame charts, and what trades I plan to take on which days and why based on economic news that is coming out. Very important that you know about economic news. Red folder news is the best days to trade in the stock market and the futures market, and I'll explain why. I'm also going to be covering cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin, what I see in the charts, what I'm personally doing with my portfolio, even though it's not much. You will see that later on in the video. And lastly, I'm going to be covering some stocks that I'm going to be buying over the next few weeks, what I have bought in the past few weeks, and I'll explain a little bit why based on the charts using ICT concepts, what is what I personally trade. Okay, so right now we are looking at the NQ chart. As you can see, it's NQU 2024. It's the September contract. So if you didn't know this, make sure you change your futures contract from NQM, which was the June contract, change it to September. You do that every quarter. As you guys know, the economic calendar this week is out. We have 3 trading days this week: Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I do not trade days where there is no red folder news. As you can see, on Monday, we only have orange and yellow folder news. And on Wednesday, we only have orange and yellow folder news. So Tuesday, we have red folder news at 10 a.m. It's consumer confidence. This is going to be the time where we see a setup on Tuesday. On Thursday, we have red folder news at 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. When we have 2 sets of red folder news on a day, I always wait until the 10 a.m. news to take a trade. Sometimes there's a really good setup that forms at 8:30, and if it's too good to pass up, I may take it. But if not, we wait until 10 a.m. We see the volatility that forms, and then we take a setup after that. So again, on Friday, just like Thursday, we have 2 sets of red folder news at 8:30 and 10 a.m. So I'm going to wait until 10 a.m. News comes out to take a trade. Okay, and then of course, Bitcoin. This is what I actually made a short about this. As you can see, we have this daily fair value gap right here that formed. We are currently in this daily fair value gap. If you want a good risk to reward trade, you can attempt to take longs in here. You can take a long here with a stop loss as a close below the secondary fair value gap, which is right here. So if you get a daily close below, you can cut the position. But if you don't get a daily close below, you can target all the way up to all-time highs at 73,794. And then I would leave runners, because if we push past this all-time high, I think that we're just going to continue up, probably up to 100,000 if I had to guess. But again, that's why you leave runners. You take a majority of your profits off at the highs. You can even take a little bit of profits off at this internal high at 71,958 and then leave the rest. Okay, and then let's go over to some of the trades that we're looking at. I've called this in the Discord for months now, but I'm looking at Riot and Mara. Those are 2 Bitcoin mining companies that I'm looking to accumulate. Personally, I'm just in Riot because I'll show you why. On Mara, we've already hit internal buy-side liquidity up here, so I don't want to even target it. But we have a lot of low resistance liquidity that's forming this trend line if you draw it from here down. So I've been accumulating Riot in the 9s and the 10s, fully expecting it to come back up and at least take out the 13 level, the 1226 and the 1311 level. And then from there, I'm going to leave runners up into these internal highs here at 17, 18, and then ideally above 20 when Bitcoin makes its next run. Coinbase is another one that I'm looking to add in the future. I think that this one is going to have a nice run when Bitcoin runs. We have this very small imbalance here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's on the weekly chart. The low of the imbalance is $290.19. So I do think that we are going to head there at some point soon. I'm looking to accumulate. I might start selling puts here. I'm not 100% yet. I will notify the Discord what I plan to do when I do it. Disney is another ad. We currently are in this bullish fair value gap, and I fully expect this to be an accumulation zone to take us back up to the 126.48 level. Lastly, something I've been adding is TLT. This is a bond play, the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. I don't trade bond futures, but I do add these ETFs. I think that the Fed is going to slowly start cutting rates. When it happens exactly, I'm not entirely sure yet. Nobody is. It's very hard to predict that. I've been adding TLT below $90 a share personally. There is this low resistance liquidity and all this buy-side liquidity that is forming. It's like a trend line that is formed. And I think that we're going to have a big push up into this area at some point soon. At that point, when the Fed starts to cut rates, it's probably a better idea to slow down on buying stocks and buy more bonds. The Fed cuts rates, yields start to tank, bond prices start to go up. So this chart you see here is going to rally when yields come down. And the stock market also tends to decline when that happens. So you want to have alternative investments like TLT that you can use to make some money while economic conditions change and you have an opportunity to make money on the upside when other things like stocks come down and yields come down. So that is pretty much it, guys. I covered NQ futures. I covered cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, what I think is going to happen in the near term. Personally, I'm a long-term holder of Bitcoin. I don't trade it, so it's just something that I wanted to point out. It's not the end-all be-all, but it is a possible trade if you are a crypto trader. You can take those longs up to all-time highs if you feel like it. I covered the stocks that I have been adding, accumulating, swinging over the short term, and some of the long-term ads that I'm looking to add for the near future. If you guys have any questions, you can DM me on X. I am very quick to respond there if you have any questions. Or you can join our Discord community. Currently, there's a free 3-day trial. You can come and try it out, see if you like the community. I wish you the best of luck with your trading and investing, and have a great one.